Hey guys, welcome. This is our practice test, so we're going to go ahead and jump in. So here we go. Car travels 140 miles in 105 minutes. How long would it take the car to travel 240 miles if it continues at the same rate of speed? So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and set up a ratio. We have 140 miles to 105 minutes. Okay, so that's how long it took. We're actually used to seeing miles per hour. This is miles per minute if you think about it. And we want to know how long would it take to travel 240 miles if we continue at the same rate of speed. So this is a rate of speed right here. And so what we want to do is we want to stay consistent. Notice we have the miles on the top. We want to keep miles on the top. So we know the miles are 240. I don't know the minutes. That's what we're trying to find, how long. So that's what we're going to solve for. Okay, you're going to need a calculator out to help you with this. So I left my calculator. So 1 second. Alright, I got my calculator. So here we go. That was not my calculator that I just grabbed. This is my calculator. Okay, here we go. So we just go ahead and do cross multiplication. So we're going to do 105 times 240. And so that gives us a rather large number. And then we're going to set that equal to 140x. And then we can divide by 140. And we get 180 minutes is what our final answer is. Okay? So again, all about setting up proportions, making sure we have miles over minutes. Number 2, find x. So again, we're cross multiplying. So 3x, and then we put equals. This is going to be 7x minus 28. Notice I distributed the 7 to both the x and the negative 4. I'm going to go ahead and move the 3x over here. I'm going to add the 28 to the other side. So that will cancel over here, that will cancel over there. So I get 4x, and I'm going to get 28. And then divide by 4, and I believe we are going to get 7. Yep. All right. Okay, here we're going to have a factoring problem. We're going to see one of these on our test for sure. So let's go ahead and jump in. 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. Equals x plus 2 and x minus 3. Now I didn't write them out yet because I want to show you how we distribute. So we're going to distribute x to both terms and 2 to both terms. And we should get 4 different items here. So we're going to get x times x just as x squared, x times negative 3, 2 times x, and 2 times negative 3. Okay? So that's what we should get, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now notice we can combine these two. They're like terms, so we combine the 3x and the 2x to give us x squared minus 1x minus 6. Now a lot of us think we should move everything away from the x's, but we have a trinomial here, so we want to move everything towards the x's. We're actually going to subtract 6 from both sides. And we're left with x squared minus 1x minus 12 equals 0. Okay? From here, let's leave that over there so you can still see it. From here, we want to go ahead and set up our little diagram. We take the back number and we want to multiply it to 12, but we want to add the negative 1. Okay? So my factors of 12 are 1 and 12. 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Notice 3 and 4 is the only pair that are 1 unit away from each other, so I want to use 3 and 4. I have to have a negative in there, and since I want the 1 to be negative, I want the bigger number to be negative, so I'm going to have negative 4. So we get x minus 4, x plus 3 equals 0, and then we go ahead and set each one of these equal to 0. And we get x equals a positive 4 and a negative 3 once we solve. Alright, so that's a pretty long problem right there. Number 4, the ratio of boys to girls in a college geometry class is 12 to 5. So boys is written first. We're going to do B to G, boys to girls. So I got 12 to 5, so I'm already thinking there should be more boys than girls. Whatever number I come up with here, there should be more boys than girls. It says that there's 60 girls, so I'm going to set up a proportion. The 60 is going to go on the bottom because G is on the bottom. And boys, I don't know. Cross multiply, we get 5x equals 12 times 60, which is 720. And divide by 5. And x equals 144 boys. And yes, there are more boys than girls. This one caused a lot of heartache in class, so hopefully we went over this well enough. But we're talking about a triangle. So there's 180 degrees in a triangle. And the ratio, okay, we got 4 to 5 to 6. Well, if I just did x plus x plus x, that would assume all the angles are congruent, but they're not. So we can show that they're different by assigning them one of the numbers, 4, 5, and 6. So we have different sizes. Add them together, we get 15x equals 180, and x would equal 12. The question is asking for the smallest angle, and out of all these, 4x is the smallest, so we're going to plug it back in. 4 times 12 equals 48, so 48 degrees is our final answer. This next problem, I like to draw a picture. It says a vertical pole, okay, casts a 14-foot shadow. Okay, so 14 feet right here. Then it says a man who is 6 feet tall cast a 9-foot shadow. How tall is the pole? Okay, well, I see a relationship here where I can go height of the real object to the shadow, height of the real object to its shadow. So that's what I'm going to do. Height of the real object to its shadow equals the height of the real object to its shadow. And we'll go ahead and cross multiply. Just to speed things up again, I'm going to do 14 times 6 and then divide it by 9, doing it in my calculator. So we get 9.3 repeating feet. The height of two similar figures is a ratio of 5 to 12, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a fraction looking guy. The perimeter of the smaller figure is 25. Well, is 5 or 12 smaller? Okay, 5 is smaller, so I'm going to put the 25 on top, x on the bottom. Go ahead and multiply this in my calculator. 12 times 25 is 300. Divide by 5, and I should get x equals 60 inches for the perimeter. Number 9 through 11. Okay, they're similar figures, so we know that BC right here is going to line up with GH, and we know that IH is going to line up with DG or DC, and that's given to us in our similarity statement, and it physically looks like it. And then remember, angles are congruent, so these angles are congruent. Okay, so that will help us out. So first we got to find a scale factor. So looking at the sides that are in relationship to each other, the only one that has numbers in both are the blue sides, so I can just do 25 to 15. And what number goes into both would be 5, so I can simplify this down to 5/3. So there's the ratio of 5 to 3. To find y, I want to set up a proportion. So I can say y over 12, so I'm going to do top over bottom for the green, and then I'm going to do equal top over the bottom to the blue. Go ahead and cross multiply. Again, I'm doing this in my calculator. 12 times 25 is 300. Divide by 15. Y equals 20. And z, this one's even easier. Sides are proportional in similar figures, but sides or angles are congruent in similar figures. So we're going to get z plus 8 should just equal 20, also known as z should equal 12. Okay? We are now to similar figures. We got to check for similar sides and angles and all that good stuff. So first thing, I look for any angles. I see I have vertical angles. Notice these two angles are included between sides that I have given. Now for this one, 24, I'm not sure who to match it up with, so I'm going to match it to the larger side. Since 24 is bigger than 16, we know that we should match it up with this guy. And then we are going to do this side matched with this side. Okay? So we got 6 over 24. And we have 4 over 16. I always like to put small number on top, big number on the bottom. Simplifies down to 1/4 and 1/4. That gives me two similar sides, and we have an angle included in the middle. So these are similar by SAS. And let's go ahead and make sure that we set up the correct triangle congruency. So let's do AMC is similar to triangle. Notice I started out on the pink one, so I'm going to go DMB. So we got to come up with two things. Why is it similar, and what's a similarity statement? Next one here, I want to line up my sides. So I'm going to go large to large, large to large, medium to medium, and then small to small. Okay? So there we go. We got our sides taken care of. So I like to put the little guys over the big guys, so we can do that real quick. 13.5 over 24, 9 over 16, and 6.75 over 12. This is where I recommend getting the calculator out. Let's see if I can angle this so you can see it. So see I have 13.5, and then you hit this A, B, C, it makes a little L over 24. If you just do that and hit enter, it's going to say syntax error. So what you want to do is you want to multiply top and bottom by 10, which basically will make this 135 over 240. And that way you'll find it reduces to 9 over 16. This is already reduced to 9 over 16. This one we're going to have to multiply by 100. So we can get 675. Hit that little button right there. Over 1200. And we get 9 over 16. So we get all three sides are proportionate. So this is going to be side, side, side. And triangle. Okay, we're going to go IHJ is similar to triangle. So I went doom, doom, doom. I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. LMK. All right, and side, side, side. On this one, I have no side information, so the only chance this has is angle, angle. I see that I have those angles right there, vertical, and then these parallel lines give me alternate interior angles. And it actually gives me two side. I could also do these ones as well. So this is angle, angle. And my triangle is going to be NPO. Again, you can pick any order for the first one. It's the second one that really matters. And so we're going to do the next one. So I started with N, so I'm going to go with RPQ. Almost messed that up. Wow. Okay. RPQ. And this last one, again, you have to match up the sides. So large with large, medium with medium, and then small with small. Okay? So colors really help. I like to do the smaller on the top. And those are all of our ratios set up. Again, I'm going to use my calculator, so we're going to go 100 over 375. So we get 415. That one's already reduced. And I can see that if I divide that by 2, that's 4 over 15 as well. That one's saving me some time. So we get side, 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 triangle. I'm going to go DAF. And then that is similar to triangle. So I started with the green and pink, so it's going to be BCE. I gotta just be careful. Yeah, that works. Okay. All right. Almost there. Long worksheet. Here we go. All right. This problem right here is our side splitter. And what the side splitter does is it splits this side and this side to be proportionate to one another, and this side to be proportionate to one another. Okay? And these are really easy. We can do them a number of ways. I can do 10 to x and 4 to 5, or I can do 10 to 4 on the left-hand side, then x to 5. I'm going to choose to do it that way, but we could do them a lot of different ways. Again, I'm using my calculator here, so I'm just going to do it off screen. That's 50 divided by 4, basically, and we get 12.5. Now, this problem didn't have the angle bisector written in. It should have. But this is our triangle angle bisector theorem, which does a similar thing where it breaks these two pieces into similar sizes and these two pieces into similar sizes. Okay? And I can go x to x plus 6, 9 to 15. I can go 9 to x, 15 to x plus 6, depending upon how I want to do it. I like to do it where it already kind of looks like it's set up for me. Okay? We're going to get 15x equals 9x plus 54. I'm going to subtract the 9x to give me 6x equals 54. X equals 9. (18). Notice 6 is matched up with the triangle, so we got 6 and 10 here. And then this x piece doesn't match up with just 8 like that, but it matches up with the whole side. So we make sure we have those corresponding pieces. So I'm going to do 6 to 10, side to base, and then this whole thing is going to be 14 to x. Okay, so that's going to be 14 times 10, which is 140, divided by 6, which gets x equals 23.3 repeating. Okay, moving over to 19. I instantly see that 20 and 30 correspond to one another here. And then I need to have x, and x corresponds to this piece here, but I don't know what that piece is until I solve. Take 4 away from 20 and we get 16. And all I have to do is make sure I set this up. I'm going to go from left to right. So left pink, right pink, left blue, right blue. Again, just keeping everything consistent. Similarity is all about consistency. So we get 30 times 16 divided by 20. So x equals 24. Okay. Last page, find x and y. Okay, so I can see we get x matched up with 21, or x plus 5 matched up with 21. 28 matches up with y minus 10. And we also have 16 matching up with 6. So we have all these different ways to set this up. So here we go. We got x plus 5 over 21. So I'm going to go left to right equals. Now if I use the pink group, I'm going to have a y, and I don't want that in my equation. So if I use the green group instead, notice I'm getting good luck. So I have to go from the left side to the right side. So I'm going to go from the left side to the right side. Okay? And go ahead and multiply those out. And we get 336 on that side, and we're going to get 6x plus 30 on this side. So 6x is going to equal 306. And divide, and we should get x equals 51. And then I'm going to go left to right again. This is 28 over y minus 10. And I can use the green ones again, left to right. And that's going to be 16y minus 160 equals 168. And that's going to add on over. $328 equals 16y. Divide by 16. And y will equal 20.5. All right, and we got 2 more. All right, AC here is the back and the front, so we want to match it with DF, which is right here. Notice I used the similarity statement to figure out which side met. Now visually it just kind of looks like that, but you always want to use the similarity statement as well. Here's an altitude and an altitude, so we can compare those. I'm going to go from left to right, and we can go ahead and do that. So we're going to go, I'm going to go green 12 to right, and then x minus 8 blue to right. Okay, cross multiply, we get 10x, sorry, that's 18x. That's what I get for writing bad. 18x, and 18 times 8 is 144, so that's minus 144, equals 12x plus 24. And I'll subtract over here and add this one over here. So subtracting 12x, I get 6x, add 144, I should get 168. So 168 divided by 6, x equals 28. Again, double check, you always want to see it says solve for x, so I don't have to go any further than that. Okay. XYZ is similar to RST. XY is 28. RS is 12.5. Notice real quick, XY, RS are in the corresponding spot, so I know those are going to match up with each other. So I can do the 28 over 12.5. The perimeter of RST is 30. Find the perimeter of the other one. Okay. Well, which one was RST? RST was RS, the bottom one, so I want to put RST on the bottom. So anything to do with RST goes on the bottom, whereas anything to do with XYZ goes on top. So again, keeping it consistent. I don't know what this is. We're just going to cross multiply real quick and we'll be done. 30 times 28, 840 equals 12.5x divided by 12.5, and x equals 67.2. And it doesn't say inches or anything like that, so we can just leave it as is. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I think that was kind of a long video, I'm not sure. But hopefully this helps. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and good luck.